Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are back in the Iowa. Now this is me trying to revamp how I play to suit kind of everybody's wants. So a lot of people like me playing my battleships. I like me playing my battleships. It's what I'm best at. It's what I'm most comfortable at. Don't get me wrong, I like playing the other ships as well. I love playing cruisers because not a lot of people do it, and it's not the most gratifying in the world, but it is fun to do. And then destroyers, we all know I'm terrible at destroyers. I would like to get better at that at some point, but, you know, right now, I'm trying to get better at everything else. And part of what I need to get better at is being more forward with my battleships. Now, I get a lot of slack, and I talked about this yesterday in the other video, that I get a lot of slack because I tend to be reversing. And I will reverse in this match. Just keep that in mind. But not necessarily like right off the bat. I'm going to be a lot more aggressive on this side than I have been in a while. Now, part of that is just due to the fact there's only one cruiser or one destroyer on the enemy team, and it's American. So I don't really have to worry too much about it. Now, we get spotted right off the bat. We've got two cruisers heading our direction, a York and a New Orleans. And there is a battleship as well, and I believe the battleship's a Tirpitz. Nope, it's a Vanguard. Okay, I thought it was a Tirpitz. Maybe I was wrong. Anyway, York is giving us a good shot. He's not quite broadside, but he is slightly angled, which actually makes it easier to potentially citadel him if I can land the good hits. Now, he's not going full throttle, so I don't give him the full lead that I normally would. We're not that far from him. We get some seriously good penetrations. No citadels, unfortunately, but notice we start getting tagged from the Mogami and a Tirpitz on my right. Now, I've got to be careful with that because now I've pushed up to a point where multiple people are shooting at me. I have people across from B that these guys should be shooting at, but again, when you give yourself up in an Iowa this early in a match, more people are going to focus you because you're giving a good broadside to somebody. And at this moment, it's a Tirpitz and a Mogami. Now, the Vanguard is just begging for it. But this New Orleans is pushing, and I realize he's pushing, so I get ready. Now, the New Orleans on my left, on my team, is ready. I tell him, I'm like, get ready. You're going to have a good kill. Just wait for it. And pow! Just absolutely riddled him. And I look at my New Orleans. I'm like, go ahead and finish him off, dude. I'll save my shot for the Mogami that comes out here in a second. Oh, nope, Mogami is on my right side. I was thinking of the York. So I'm getting ready to fire at the York. Now, I'm on fire. It's going to be a while. Luckily, the New Orleans didn't set me on fire again there. Now, this York is, again, just begging for it. I go ahead and fire the shots. He's slowing down, and we get a nasty penetration. No Citadel, but 15,000 damage anyway, which basically makes him a one-shot kill for that New Orleans, and he should be able to kill him. But why would a York pull out broadside on in front of a cruiser and me? Because he's launching torpedoes. And this New Orleans, unfortunately, wasn't paying attention, didn't have his hydroacoustic running, and he ate all of the torpedoes. So down he goes. Now, I am broadside to this Vanguard right now, which is definitely not where I want to be. He's starting to turn towards me. We get the shot off, and we are going to start pushing and we get some nice penetrations. But I need to get my armor angled. I cannot afford to take a Citadel hit from this Vanguard at this close because he's potentially going to get me with multiple Citadels. However, the York is still alive, which is not preferable, so I ask the destroyer player of mine that's in the smoke screen at sea to finish off the York. And luckily for me, he does. He didn't have much health, so being able to get him off the board was fantastic. Now, we shoot into the armor, which was a complete mistake on my part. That is angled armor. At this angle, you're just not going to penetrate very reliably. Should have put those a little higher into the superstructure and maybe got a better pin. However, he's lining up. At first, I thought he might go for the ram, but then he sets himself up. I get set on fire twice, so I'm going to go ahead and extinguish it. And he lines himself up perfectly for this amazing Citadel shot. Wait for it. We get one shot. Come on, baby. Wait for it. Oh, no. Crap. We screwed up. We did Citadel him with the rear gun, but unfortunately, the front guns weren't able to turn fast enough, and he just absolutely makes us pay. Luckily for us, the front guns do have a pretty good firing arc, and we are getting them around. just in time to go ahead and Citadel him 2 more times and finish him off. Now, he is completely gone. We're at 124,000 damage this quickly. This game has been completely and utterly controlled by me on this side of the map so far, with the help of that destroyer. Now, the destroyer has taken some punishment. And I still have the Mogami to worry about, and I believe the Tirpitz is headed this direction, if I remember correctly. But at least the Mogami is over here, and so I'm going hunting. I still have 26,000 hit points. I now have the bow facing where the enemy is heading, and it is now my turn to start getting some more damage. I'm not burning, and within another minute I'll be able to use my last heal. And again, this is me trying to be more... Okay, and now we got the destroyer spotted the Tirpitz, and I told the destroyer, because he initially said he was going to suicide himself going after the Mogami. I'm like, no, you've got a battleship right there. Shoot the battleship, or, you know, try to torp the battleship. Don't get yourself spotted, don't get yourself into trouble. Use the island as best you can and try to avoid it, and we do get a nasty Citadel on that Tirpitz, bringing us up to 5 Citadels so far in this match. We managed to avoid most of the damage from that Tirpitz so far, and we are now bow tanking the Tirpitz because Mogami has turned around and started heading back. Now, not sure exactly whether the Fletcher got spotted by the Mogami or if he fired his guns, but he was detected and started taking rounds. Now, anytime I get a Mogami broadside on, I'm going to take that shot in Iowa because he has a tendency to get Citadel to death. And we do take half of his health, and that takes us up to 6 Citadels and brings us up to a whopping 168,000 damage, which is a very good result for this early in the match. I go ahead, I start using my last heal, knowing that these torpedoes were going to be on the way, because again, why would he sail out in front of me unless he was launching torpedoes? Now, the Fletcher goes off to the left side. He's got the island to use. Unfortunately for me, he's going to get shot by the Tirpitz. Now, I do manage to get the shot off before the Mogami gets behind it, and unfortunately, we just not able to get the Citadel. We see the first set of torpedoes coming in. We're lining ourselves up to, you know, flood the gap here. I'm trying to maneuver this 900-foot-long ship into the perfect spot to avoid getting hit, and unfortunately, there is just one torpedo that kind of screws that plan up. And now I'm a long ways from being healed, so I'm just trying to get more shots off before I die. We get the rear guns out, and unfortunately, down we go. So, what can I say about this match? I'm dead. I can no longer help the team, but I did 182,000 damage and completely controlled my side of the map. Surely, my team can't possibly throw this match. Am I right? Like, there's no way that they could possibly throw this match. Right? We've done everything we can. There is only one ship left on our side of the map. He's not capping the circle at the moment. They have 2 battleships and a cruiser. The cruiser is low health, but our Jervis has a bit of a brain fart here. He's going for the New Orleans, and he's going to start firing his guns. Now, I'm all for trying to help your team by, you know, if they have somebody distracted, taking shots at them from a smoke screen, that sort of thing. But if you're going against an American cruiser and a destroyer, you better darn sure be ready to take them out, because if you don't, they will make short work of you in a hurry. Because not only do they have the most amazing 203mm guns in the game, in my opinion, they have also the ability to use radar and hydroacoustic, so you're unlikely to hit them with torpedoes, and you're not going to be able to hide in your smokescreen. Which means engaging a 203mm American cruiser is a very dumb thing to do if you get spotted. And unfortunately, he did get spotted, and he has absolutely paid the price. This New Orleans didn't have much health. He launches all of his torpedoes in a tube-by-tube form, and, you know, you knew it was coming. The guy completely missed, making this a 4 versus 2. The New Orleans is still alive, and that Turpitz is still alive. Surely my team can't throw this game, right? It's a New Orleans that has no health, and a Turpitz that, you know, we've already touched pretty heavily. But, you know, far be it for our team to just, you know, win the match outright. We can't have that. Gotta make it interesting, right? So, they're charging in. The New Orleans is not spotted. The good news is, the only torpedoes left in the game on the enemy side is the Turpitz. They're 6 kilometers, so as long as you don't do something crazy, you don't have to worry about torps if you're in a battleship. Hopefully, these guys, they're in a pack. That's a good thing, which means whenever they do spot these guys, they're going to be able to focus fire on that guy. So that's a good thing. But are they going to? Or are they going to flub this in the most ridiculous fashion possible? Regardless of the fact that I was hyper-aggressive and managed to absolutely decimate my side of the map, are they going to flub this? Or are they going to salvage it? That's the question. Now, any moment, we should start to get a lock on their cruiser. New Orleans is not the most fast cruiser in the game. You know, American cruisers are heavy cruisers. They're not that fast. The Baltimore, fully kitted out, 34 knots, I believe. Okay? If you don't take the commander perks that reduce your speed on an Iowa, you do 30 knots. Now, luckily, the Turpitz has been spotted on the left side. He is trying to go in for B. He's trying to take points, which is what he has to do at this point, unless he wants to sink everybody. But getting into a fight against all of these battleships at one time, broadside on, is not preferable. And the Turpitz, unfortunately, he does get some shots at this Iowa. This Iowa's kind of looking in the wrong direction, so he's got to wait for his guns. Is he going to get the shot off? Come on. Luckily, the guys behind him get some shots off, and as we go to look at him, suddenly, this Turpitz has no health left. So, I'm not sure who hit him, but I'm going to take a guess that it was the Iowa behind him that managed to Citadel the ever-living poop out of him, and they managed to bring it home. Sorry for keeping you guys guessing, but I had to bring it out a little bit, right? But we ended up with 182,000 damage, 6 Citadels, top of the leaderboard pretty easily, even though we died as one of the first people dead in the match. So if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.